What's up YouTube? For today's Monday movement, I am going to be demonstrating how to perform a Romanian deadlift, also commonly abbreviated as an RDL. A Romanian deadlift is different from a conventional deadlift in a few different ways. For one, it starts at the top of the movement, so it places a lot more emphasis on the eccentric portion of the movement, whereas a conventional deadlift starts at the bottom and places more emphasis on the concentric portion. Conventional deadlifts typically are going to be better for building strength and powerlifting because you can do a lot more weight. Romanian deadlifts have a little bit of a smaller range of motion, they're better for a little bit lighter weight, and they're going to place more emphasis on the hamstrings. Now I'm sure some of you are out there like, what the hell, Shannon? We're in quarantine. I don't have access to a barbell. Fear not, my socially distanced comrades. Today I will be going over a few different variations, not only the barbell RDL, but I'll also demonstrate a dumbbell RDL, a B stance RDL, as well as a single leg RDL. As I stated in the intro, the Romanian deadlift does start at the top of the movement. So if you have some sort of a rack to place the bar, that is going to be ideal. If not, you'll start with the bar on the bottom. You'll do kind of a conventional deadlift to get at the top and begin from there. When you're starting out and not doing too much weight, you'll probably be fine doing an overhand grip. However, once you do start increasing the weight, I would recommend going to a switch grip, making sure to alternate which way your hands are grabbing with each set. So to begin, I'll grab the bar, I'm going to lift it up, I'm going to step away from the rack, I'm going to set my feet firmly about hips distance, keeping a soft bend in my knees. I want to retract my shoulder blades, pull them back onto my back to engage my lats. I like to kind of visualize a tennis ball being in my armpits and I'm trying to pin it down into place. That's going to really help activate my lats. I want to keep my core engaged and focusing on that eccentric portion. I'm going to very slowly lower the bar down, keeping it close to my body. I'm pushing my hips back while keeping my chest up. I'm only going to go down as far as my low back and hamstring flexibility will allow. I should feel a tight pull in my hamstrings. If you start to go down to where your shoulders are shrugging and your back is going into flexion, you've gone too far and you're going to risk bulging a disc. From here, you are going to extend your hips and come up to full hip extension, being sure not to hyperextend at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and show you from a little bit of a side view. I've got my feet hips distance, soft bend in my knees, shoulder blades pulled back, engaging my lats, keeping the bar close to me, lowering down by pushing my hips back only as far as my hamstrings and low back can allow, coming up only to straight, not hyperextending. But right now, you're probably socially distancing, stuck at home without a barbell. If you have just a couple dumbbells or even a kettlebell, you can do a variation of this same exercise. It's going to be essentially the same thing. You're going to start at the top, but now instead of a barbell, you'll be holding two dumbbells out in front of you. If you have a kettlebell, you can just hold the kettlebell like this in front of you. You'll begin again by taking a solid stance with your feet hips distance, a soft bend in your knees, engaging your core and pulling your shoulder blades onto your back to engage your lats. Again, you're going to keep the dumbbells close to your body as you slowly lower down, pushing your hips back, keeping your chest up, only going down as far as those hamstrings and lower back flexibility allow. Exhale as you come back up, being sure not to hyperextend. One of my favorite variations of a Romanian deadlift is to do a B stance RDL. This is very similar to a single leg RDL, however you have the rear leg as a stabilizer so that you can do a little bit more weight and really focus on strengthening each individual leg and not having to worry about the balance aspect of it. To perform a B stance RDL, you're going to place your weight into one foot, kicking your other foot back just slightly on the toes, just to have that leg as a stabilizer. You're going to hold a dumbbell in the opposite arm of your working leg. You can place your other hand on your hip or whatever is going to be best for your balance. I am going to slowly lower down, keeping the weight close to my body, pushing my hips back, only going down as far as my hamstrings and low back will allow. I'm going to exhale as I come up, fully extending my hips. And I'll repeat all reps on one side before I switch to the other. I do think the B stance RDL is a phenomenal exercise in correcting imbalances by strengthening the right and left legs separately. However, I do highly recommend implementing the single leg deadlift into your program to focus on training balance as well. I think when we're young, oftentimes we overlook training balance and we focus a lot more on strength and aesthetics. However, as somebody who has personally worked with the senior population quite a bit, I have seen firsthand how beneficial training balance can be in preventing falls with the elderly population. To start out with a single leg deadlift, I would recommend doing it without any weight and just getting the mechanics of the movement down first. It's going to be similar to a B stance in that you're going to place all of your weight into one leg. However, this time your rear leg, instead of staying down on the ground, it is going to kick back as you lower down. So starting out, you can definitely hold on to something to help with balance. You want to make sure that you're not leaning your weight into whatever you're holding on to though. You want to just have it braced just to kind of help with the balance a little bit. So I'll hold on to here. I'm going to pretend like I'm holding onto a weight. That way, once I am ready to add weight, I'm already used to that motion. I have my weight all in one leg, my soft bend in the knees. I'm still going to engage my lats just the same. And now as I lower down, I'm going to kick my non-working leg out, reaching down as far as this hamstring and my lower back can go. And then I'm going to come back up, fully extending my hips, and lower down. Once you've gotten used to this, I would suggest doing it without holding onto anything. I would place that hand on your hip, and we'll do the same thing. I'll pretend to hold onto a weight. I'm going to lower down, kicking my leg out, and coming back up. Once you've gotten comfortable with the mechanics of a single leg deadlift, you can definitely add a dumbbell. You'll hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand of your working leg. To start out, you may want to hold on to something for balance again, since you are adding a new element and your center of gravity will be shifted a little bit now. You'll place your weight into that foot opposite the hand holding the weight. We'll hold on to this just for balance. Keeping the weight close to me, I'm going to slowly push my hips back, lower down, kicking my non-working leg back, stand up nice and slow. And once you're comfortable doing it without holding on to anything, go ahead and place your hand on your hip and perform without any assistance. If you liked this video, please hit that little thumbs up or leave me a comment. Feel free to let me know what other exercises you would like to see me demonstrate. If you subscribe to my channel, I do post a new video every Monday.